everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. And today we're going to be doing a pick-up pile reading, as you have seen the title, on the topic of whether you should wait or move on from a particular person. Now I saw somebody recommending me this video, and I actually thought that yes, this is like a very good topic to read on, because there's like a lot of content online regarding this whole topic, whether you should stay or move on with a person, because I feel like it's very, very confusing when it comes to that. I feel like there has been so many different words online that surface every single month, where people are saying that this person is ghosting me, this person is in no contact with me, stuff like that. And there are some people that even say that, every single week they will come up with a reading and they will start saying things like, your ex is coming back, and do this to claim this reading. I think that just makes people even more confused in an already very confusing situation, because people don't want to waste their time. Of course, people don't want to waste their time in a person that does not deserve it. And the fact that if they believe in tarot readings, or if they see such tarot readings, they will just start thinking that maybe I do have some hope. I also want to clear one more thing when it comes to this, and that is that I have heard people think about soulmates. I used to have a friend, and he did get a tarot reading from me, and he would always constantly ask me about his one person that he would be constantly stuck on. And he would say that, she is my soulmate. And I asked him, why do you consider her as your soulmate? And he said that it was because a random reader told him that she is supposed to be his soulmate. And I want to clear this one thing very, very well. If you have a person that is going to be your soulmate, if you have a person that is in your twin flame or like soul contract, whatever all of these words are online, if you think that there is only one person that is going to be in your life and nobody else, then I think it's very, very limiting to think that, because if somebody is meant to stay in your life, they will stay regardless of whether you want to do something about it or not, right? They will stay. It just depends on different time, right? So if you can avoid thinking about soulmates as being binded to one person for the rest of your life, if somebody ever tells you that this is your soulmate, does not mean that you have to be thinking in that way, that you are binded to that person for your whole of your life and you will have nobody else to look for. You will have no other bigger fishes to catch in the whole ocean, right? So my point is, if you want to believe in soulmates, do that very well, but don't think about soulmates in a way where it affects you negatively, where you start thinking that you are only and only belonging to one person and that is it, right? Don't let this word take too much control over your will, your decision. If you are right off the bat seeing that this person or whoever this is acting toxic, acting weird towards you, why do you still care about them being your soulmate? Because soulmates are not supposed to act like that. So I just wanted to make this thing very, very clear. And yes, now I hope that this reading will be helpful. In each of the piles, we will be having 2 piles today. So in each pile, there are going to be 2 questions that I will be covering. The first question I will be covering is going to be, what is going to be the outcome for you if you decide to wait, for this person, if you decide to stay. And the second question I will be doing in that pile is going to be, what is going to be the outcome for you if you decide to move on? I am going to read both of these questions separately in each pile, and you need to now, after the whole reading, I'm done with your reading, you can just pause the video after the end and just decide for yourself which of these 2 paths, which of these 2 outcomes you will like to have for yourself, whether it will be you wanting to stay in or whether you will be more okay with moving on, because things will be clear. I'm just here to give you clarity. I'm not here to predict things here. I will only give you clarity on both of those outcomes. Whichever outcome you think will serve you the best, you should go with that, because I don't want you to stay more and more confused in these cycles, in this tarot reading, in this consuming content. I do not want people to be confused after seeing my readings, okay? So I just want to provide clarity. So I hope that the point is clear. I hope that you are clear with what the video is going to contain, and let's go with the pile selection. Now let's start with the pile selection. So pile number 1 is going to be this picture right here, okay, and pile number 2 is going to be this picture right here. So please pause the video and choose whichever pile you feel more drawn to, and just choose the pile you feel more intuitively pull towards, okay. And once you're done choosing, you just go down in the description box and click on your timestamps, and I will be seeing you in your reading. Hello group number 1, and welcome to your reading. And yeah, as I have said in the beginning of the video, the first question that I will be covering is going to be, what is going to be the outcome for you if you decide to wait for this person? How is it going to look like for you? What is going to be the situation like? Is it going to change or is it going to stay the same? Let's see what cards I have pulled for you for this question, okay? So we have the King of Swords. We have the King of Swords in upright. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. And we also have the Five of Wands. Okay. So there are a lot of, okay, by the way, I want to give you a little disclaimer. There are some dogs barking in the background. I will make sure to edit them out as much as I can, but if you hear them, please ignore them. I don't know why they're being a little noisy today. Usually they are not this noisy. Okay, so let's forget about that. So yeah, we have the King of Swords in upright, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Five of Wands in upright. Okay. We have, first of all, we have two king cards here. Two King of Swords and King of Pentacles. Okay. I feel like this person, whoever this is, I feel like maybe this person tries to take initiative. Maybe this person tries to sometimes, this person, I feel like they just try to fix things. I feel like your person, they tries to fix things. They try to mend things. Whatever it is, maybe they say or maybe they think that they will do all of this, but I feel like when it comes to actions, then they lack in a lot of places. I feel like you have been maybe disappointed with their actions especially. And while I was shuffling the cards, I even heard something regarding communication. Maybe you guys have a communication blockage with this person. You guys cannot communicate, or maybe there's this communication problem coming in, and I don't know why. Maybe you have had a lot of fight with this person. Maybe you have had a lot of unnecessary quarrel with this person. And I'm also getting this vibe that you do not want to fight anymore. You do not want to fight anymore. You do not want to be in the situation. You want peace. I feel like you want peace out of the situation. And if you do not, or if you cannot get peace, then you do not want it completely. You want peace, but you do not know whether this person will be giving you that, because maybe being with this person is very, very volatile for you. Maybe being with this person is very, very volatile. It's like you guys, whenever you guys meet, it's like two elements meeting together, kind of fire. Somebody is burning fire. They have like a whole fire going on, and if you blow some sort of a wind on top of it, wind but in a little amount, then you can see sometimes it actually increases the flame. And I feel like you both maybe think about this pair like that. There's this volatility coming in, when it comes to both of you or both of the situation. It's like some things just does not seem to click with each other, something like that. I think maybe this is you coming in. Maybe I'm picking up on your energy. I feel like you think that this person thinks a lot. They think that they will do all of those things. They think that they can fix things. They will do these things. They will take initiative. They will try to fix things. But when it comes to them taking the actions or doing something in the physical world, then I think that they are not good at leading people. I feel like they are not the best when it comes to leading things. They're not very, very good at initiating or taking the initiative. They try, but they fail. I think this is how it is coming in, because the King of Swords in upright, I feel like King of Swords, because it's the element of sword, and swords generally talk about, the mind, the logic. They talk about the thinking, the intellect. So it's like this person thinks that, yes, I'm gonna fix things now. We are not gonna fight anymore. Everything's going to be okay. But when they think like that, I feel like their actions, they lack in some places, because we have the King of Pentacles and it came in reverse. So it's like they lack those actions, or if they ever try to fix things, they just keep on getting more and more messier, more and more tangible, not like tangled, tangled, rather than, like they make things worse. Maybe it's coming off like they make things worse, or they think that they make those things worse. All right. And we even have the Five of Wands, and Five of Wands is obviously about unnecessary quarrel, unnecessary fighting, a fight that makes no sense. It's like kind of like kids fighting for, like, suppose you guys have twins, and one twin, they got another toy. It's like the toys they both got, they are the same toy, but they want the toy that the other sister has or the other twin has. They're just fighting for over the same exact thing. So it's kind of like unnecessary fight. You do not know what to do in it, you do not know how to solve it. They're just fighting, they just want to fight. So it's coming off like that. And I feel like I'm getting this energy like somebody here is tired. Somebody here is tired of something. Like they just want to have peace in their life. They want peace back. They want things to be fixed. Like this or like that. They just want to have peace in their life. With this person or without this person. Like you're contemplating between these two things. And makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Let's see what else is coming in. How is going to be the outcome for pile number 1? How is going to be the outcome for pile number 1 if they decide to wait? And by the way, this is like the wait sort of situation, where you're waiting. I feel like when it comes to sweet talk, when it comes to sweet talking, something like that, then I think your person is somehow very, very good at the way they talk. Like the way they talk at some things, or the way they sometimes express their feelings or whatever, it comes off as love. It comes off as lovely. But when it comes to, I think, their actions, then it's quite the opposite. It's like their words, they do not match their actions. Something like that. Or they're bad at expressing their actions. Like they're bad at showing that they care. They're bad at expressing themselves, I think. It's like one person thinks that they will do a lot of things for you. They will try to fix things. They will try to kind of like mend things up. Or they have this plan that yes, I will fix it like this, but they never share it with you. It's like there's this lack of knowing. You do not know much. You do not know generally what goes on in their head. And I'm also hearing unaware of intentions. Maybe you are not aware of what their intentions is. I feel like you are just super confused with what their intentions are at times. Because sometimes maybe they look like, they're genuine, they're nice, they're good. And then the other time they just act like the complete opposite. And you're wondering, is this the same person? Is this the same person? Because I was even talking about unspoken desires. And I feel like, yes, I feel like there's like this miscommunication, as I was talking about in the very, very beginning. There is this lack of communication that I think you both have. Something like that. So I feel like even after you wait for this person, or even if you decide to wait, this person might think more than they do. It's like they will think more than they do, rather than actually taking up the initiative, actually fighting for this back. I don't think they want to make that much of efforts. It's like their efforts are lacking. They lack in efforts. If you decide to wait for this person, then maybe you will notice that this person is not making as much efforts as they could have made, and you might be a bit disappointed in it. We even have this card that says real story, and it's kind of shows like this image of like kind of like a village, and it looks like a very unstable village. It looks like it can fall down at any time because it looks messy, it looks like it has a weak what do you call it, like a weak foundation. I feel like in your relationship, maybe when it comes to talking, communication about the actual real things that matter, things that will last longer, planning your future together, I think those conversations maybe you guys have had, but very little, like very less. Those conversations, they have never been taken up to that like level where you guys were planning each other's future together, you guys were planning of where you guys are going to be, stuff like that. It's giving almost like planning things, but they seem way too far, kind of like suppose you have just started a relationship and the other person, they are talking about what it will look like after 10 years, when it makes no sense, because you guys, it sounds ridiculous. I mean, it sounds ridiculous at one point, because if you think logically, you it would be much better if you think how the relationship is going to look like after 1 year or 2 year, if you can plan. Because planning for 1 or 2 years when it's the very beginning, it sounds reasonable, but if you have just started a relationship and you're thinking about getting married with this person, having kids, when you guys don't even know much about each other, then it sounds almost like daydreaming. It sounds unnecessary. Not even unnecessary, it can be sweet at times, but sometimes you have to be logical and you have to agree with it. You have to be logical sometimes, right? I feel like even if you decide to wait for this person, then the foundations are going to be a bit weak, because I feel like you will be waiting and you might be even making efforts for this person. I don't know what your point of view is. I would love to know that. Maybe I will pull some cards for that. But it's like you want to see efforts, you want to see genuine efforts, you want to see somebody that fights for you, fights for this relationship, fights for this love. But it's like that thing is not happening up to that extent. It's not happening like up to that extent, and I'm also getting this vibe that maybe you thought way too much. I feel like maybe you thought way too much, or you thought way too highly about this situation, let me explain that. Like suppose how can I even explain it? Like things were something else, like the actual real life or the actual situation, it was completely different. It was something that was completely different. And what was in your mind, what was in your head, what were you dreaming about, what were you daydreaming about, I think that was opposite. It's like the reality you were facing and the reality that was in your mind, it was completely different. They had no match. And some other place, I feel like there was this huge expectations that maybe you had in the situation. Maybe you had very huge or high expectation for this thing to work out. Maybe you wanted it to work out very badly, but it looks like it could not, because some other way, maybe there was communication problems, or maybe this person was not making the efforts as much as you wanted them to. The efforts might have been lacking somewhere. You thought that this person would fight for your love, but it looks like not. Because I feel like maybe this person wants peace, or maybe you are the one that wants peace. You want peace over love. It looks like that. I mean, peace and love, they can obviously be together, but it looks like in this situation, it's almost like when you guys are together, peace is like not there. Which, well, it's a bit sad. So it's like you have to choose between these two options. If you guys will stay together, maybe you guys might be a little, I don't know, should I say this, like you guys might be a little not very mature when it comes to talking. Like when it comes to talking, There might be a little bit of immaturity coming from somebody here. All right. And even this thing is coming to me where, one thing that people say is that when you meet somebody that gives you butterflies, it's not the one that you love, or not the love of your life. Somebody that gives you peace, calmness, that is where love belongs. And I feel like in this situation it's quite the opposite. It's like uh love is war. Love is war. It's giving chaos, really. you know Okay, let's see more about you. Let's see what is the point of view that you are holding right now. What is your point of view in this situation? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my god. I'm gonna take this card. And we have the Seven of Wands. You know what? We have the Wheel of Fortune with the Seven of Wands. I feel like you're trying to resist things as they are. I'm not gonna lie, pile number one. I feel like I completely understand that you may want this thing to work out. I completely understand. I genuinely understand where you're coming from. But I feel like you are not trying to see the things as they are. Maybe you're trying to avoid them because you do not want to see the truth. Maybe you really, really, really want this person to stay in your life. You really, really want this person to be there for you. You are not ready to let go. I feel like you're not ready to let go. You are very, very you're willing to fight for this person. You are willing to fight for this person. You are willing to do that. But I feel like pile number one, it might be your POV, where it's like everything is working in your odds. Like the fate is going somewhere. The fate is completely opposite, and you're trying to fight against this. You're trying to fight against your fate. Because look at this. The Wheel of Fortune is like a card about fate, about like fate, destiny, something like that. And this person is literally trying to fight against these things. So it's kind of like that. I feel like this is your POV, and I was picking up on that. Okay. I feel like you are the one that is making more actions than the other person. I feel like you are the one that is actually the one taking initiative in this situation. You are the one that is making all of the plans, making all the efforts for this person. You are even willing to wait for this person if possible. But is this person willing to do that? I would love to know. Is this person willing to do all of those things? What is this person's situation? What is this person's point of view in the situation? Oh my god. Wow. We have the Four of Swords. Cold. Literally. This person is sleeping. It's like your world is being turned around. Your world is like going upside down. They are sleeping. They don't know what to do. They are like, damn. Okay. Let me show you the cards. So it's like your whole world, it looks like it's turning around. There are such serious cards in your reading. We have the Chariot card, which talks about doing your absolute best, doing whatever you can, physically, whatever actions you can take to, in a situation, you will do that. Like suppose if you want to pass an exam, you will study for like 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours. You will study your ass off. You will study so hard. You will do whatever you can to win. But on the other hand, your person's POV is not even 1% of it. I will be very, very honest. I will be very, very frank. Your person's POV does not even look like 1% of it. This person is downright sleeping. Damn. Oh my god. So yeah, again I'm saying that this person may be thinking a lot in their mind. They might be thinking very, very huge things about this relationship or the situation, that I will do this, I will do that, I will do this for her, I will bring the moon down to her. I don't know if you're a her or he. I assume that I'm reading for a girl. I don't know why. I just generally do that. So if you are a boy, that's all right as well. So yeah, it's like I will bring the moon down, but you cannot do that. You can stay on earth and you can still do very very good things for your person. You can still be amazing. They do not want moon, they want you. Are you making any efforts? Are you doing whatever you say you will do? Are the actions matching? Okay. Wow. Pal number 1. I feel like this is really going to be the outcome if you decide to wait. Okay. I think that if you decide to wait, you will be the one that will be putting in most of the efforts. They might not make the efforts as much as you think as they would. They might not be willing to fight for you as much. There might be more quarrels, there might be more fight. You have to choose between these two options, love or peace. Or even ask yourself, is this even love? Or is this just like you just want this person, like something like that. Okay, be very honest. Be very honest. This reading needs honesty. If you're not honest with yourself, I would not recommend this video. Okay. So I feel like this is going to be the outcome for you if you decide to wait. Okay. This is the cards that came out. Now let's see the second question. How is going to be the outcome for you if you decide to move on? How is it going to look like for you? I'm going to keep all of these cards on the side because I might need them in the next few minutes. Let's keep them here. So I have shuffled some cards already. So we have the Two of Wands. We have the Five of Swords. And we even have the Nine of Wands in upright. Okay, I'm going to read the cards in upright only, not in reverse. Wow. Okay. One thing I might say, pal number 1, I see that both of these situations, they are challenging. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I think both of the situation for you, pal number 1, they will be challenging. One seems challenging because it seems like it's very, very chaotic and it's not giving peace vibes at all. The other situation, because I can understand, I feel like you're very, very attached. Okay. If not, then I feel like you really want this to work out. You really wanted this to work out. And you're not willing to let go. You're not willing to move on, because the cards, I feel like they make sense here. Because even though you physically you might move on from this person, you may say that yes, I have moved on, but mentally I think you will be struggling. Okay, mentally you will still be stuck on this person. You still might remember them quite a few times. They might still be in your mind quite often. I feel like you do not want to accept you will not be able to accept that yes, I moved on. How is that even possible? How is it, like, is it even possible? It's like your question is it even possible for me now to move on? Because I feel like you are way too deep into this. You're way too deep. But I feel like pile number 1, I feel like everybody has this power. Of course, everybody can move on. I also saw this very, very interesting reel right today, and it said something like, you can cry, you can be angry, you can lash out, you can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, at the end of all of that time, you will realize that you will have to move on because you cannot change it. You cannot change it. The end is to move on. That is it. The end is to move on. For everyone, for each one of us. So, pile number 1, I feel like it might be difficult. Both of the situations, they look difficult for you. One seems difficult because it is like a challenge for you. It's like a self-challenge. Because it might be very, very challenging for you to move on from a person that you wanted very badly. And this one, it looks challenging because you are looking that this person is not making the efforts that you thought they would, or they are not willing to do as much as you would. They are not fighting. They are not at the same level. They're not at the same efforts they're not making the same efforts. So it might be challenging in that way. You might get that person, but you will still not be mentally happy. But in the second situation, I'm seeing that it might be hard for you mentally, it might be hard for you, it might be a challenge. Nonetheless, it's I'm sure it's going to be difficult. But at the end of the day, once you move on, you will be realizing that, yeah, finally I'm at peace. Finally I'm actually happy. It's just that it would take some time. Because we have the Nine of Wands, then so I'm assuming it may take a little time. Okay, it may take a little time. Okay, maybe 1 year. Maybe 1 year. Some of that sort. But you will be happy. I'm pretty sure you will be happy. You will be happy that you did this. That you did this. You allowed yourself to change. Rather than waiting for a person that was not making the efforts as you would have made for somebody that you loved. Okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, pile number 1. We have the Three of Swords. Man. Oh wow. I completely get this. I understand. I understand, man. So we have the Three of Swords, and if you do not know anything about tarot, then Three of Swords is the card about heartbreak, hardships, thinking that the world's gonna end, but it's not ending. It's not the end. So yeah, the second situation, the outcome might be a little hard. It might be a little heartbreaking for you, that you will finally end up realizing that, yeah, this person was not meant for me. Even though I wanted this person to be in my life very, very badly, I was willing to do whatever I could have made or whatever I could have done. But at the end of the day, you will realize that, yeah, I deserve more. I deserve much more. I deserve much, much better. And I deserved somebody that made the same efforts as I made for them, And at the end of this whole outcome, we have the Queen of Wands. We literally have the Queen of Wands. And you know what Queen of Wands stands for? Queen of Wands stands for somebody that is very, very confident, somebody that knows her worth, somebody that is very confident. She's even the life of the party. Like, I feel like you will become somebody that is very, very lively. You will be happy. You will even become more brave or more courageous. You will have this confidence in yourself that, yes, I did that, and I am happy I could have done that. It could not have been much better. And I feel like the outcome for this is much better than pile number 1. Well, I'm not the one to decide here, because the decision is going to be yours, right? I should just do my work here and leave. So we have the Queen of Wands, and yeah, the Queen of Wands, she stands all about confidence. She stands all about somebody that is very, very confident in herself. She knows who she is. She knows her worth. And I feel like at the end of this struggle, at the end of this difficult period in your life in which you were moving on, you will realize that, yeah, that person, you will forget about them. And you will realize that, yeah, I deserve much better. I deserve much more. And I feel like your standards will even improve as well. You will realize that, yeah, that I deserve much more. My self-worth matters more. Peace matters more. I deserve to be in which I am respected. Okay, pile number 1. Let's see some oracle cards for this outcome as well, because I am loving it so far. Pile number 1. We have mind games. Oh. We have keeping tabs. I feel like a part of your pile number 1, after moving on, you will obviously you might stalk them online, you might stalk them on social media, you might stalk them on their page, what it might be, but yeah, you might be keeping tabs on this person, because of course that makes sense. Oh my god, I just want one card, please. Oh my god. Okay. This one card fell down. This is going to be the last card. Yeah. So we have these cards here. Let me show. We have the mind games. We have the keeping tabs. We have breaking news, And I feel like this makes a lot of sense with the cards that came out already in your reading. I feel like obviously you will have a problem in moving on, so you may stalk them on their social media. You might not be able to move on. You may want this person deep down to reject or to regret losing you. You will have this thing that yes, this person regrets losing me. You will be there will be a lot of things going on in your mind. One thing I could tell for sure, there would be some mental conflict that will be happening after you decide to move on from this person. It's not going to be easy, but I think at the end of the day you will just be happy. You will be okay, you will be fine, because we have the supportive circle. And with the Queen of Wands as well, because Queen of Wands is actually in upright position, she is somebody that is generally seen as extroverted. So I feel like I don't know if you are extrovert or not, but I feel like you may have people, or you may have a place in which you are happy to be in, like you're in a place in which you are very, very happy to be in. Maybe you have a friend group, you have a friend circle, maybe you have a YouTube channel, maybe you have a blog, somewhere where you can share your experiences with people, somewhere where you can just talk about yourself with people. And I think like that is going to be really, really helpful, because you will be happy at the end of the day. That is my point. Okay, I want to now pick out some cards for advice. What is an advice that maybe you need right now? What is an advice that pile number 1 needs at the moment? What is an advice that pile number 1 needs at the moment? We have the Page of Pentacles, Hangman. I feel like pile number 1, you're being told here to be patient with yourself, Pile number 1, I feel like you're being told here to be patient. To be patient with yourself. And to not keep anybody so much on a pedestal. Because when I was doing that reading on the first question, I thought that you keep this person way too much on the pedestal. You keep this person way too much on the top. You think about this person very highly. When you see the actual truth about this person, when you see what they actually are, what they are in your life, for the actual truth, then it might be completely different. And you may see that this person is just, I don't know. So it's like that, and I feel like you should be willing to look at the truth as it is. Willing to look at the truth as it is without any sugarcoating. Because I think pile number 1, you are somebody that might be a little delusional right now, might be delulu. That's normal, it happens. You might be wearing glasses on top of your face, but you will have to take them out. You will have to see the situation. You have to see the situation as it is. And I think that is going to be the advice. That is really going to be something which will open your mind up more and will help you decide for once and for all if you really should be here or if you really should be waiting. So I feel like those were both of those outcomes. What will happen if you decide to wait? What will happen if you decide to move on? And advice that I have given you. So I hope that, and also 3333 as I said this. So I hope that the reading resonated with you up to some extent. I hope it was helpful. If you want to share something with me in the comment section, then the comment box is open. You can share whatever you want, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Group number 2, and if you choose the second image, this is going to be your reading on whether you should stay or whether you should wait or whether you should move on. So as I said in the beginning of the reading, in the intro, we will be doing 2 questions, and the first question is, how is going to be the outcome looking like for you if you decide to stay or wait in the situation? So let's see what cards I have pulled out for you. So we have the Justice, we have the 8 of Pentacles, and we also have the Five of Wands. Okay. Oh, why? It's, oh, I don't know why my nose is itchy all of a sudden. So, yeah, we have the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Justice, which is the Major Arcana card in your reading in this outcome. So, okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles and we also have the Five of Wands together. And if I read them together, then it looks something like that. Wait, let me show the cards. So you can see that this person over here is doing so much efforts. They are making so many things at the same time. Looks like they are gradually and very patiently making something. They are making something which is very, very important for them, very useful for them, very, very important part in their life. It can even be a career as well. The situation might be your career. Somebody might be asking what is going to be the career looking like for me. But this looks like somebody working towards something, somebody working towards maybe a relationship, building a very healthy relationship with someone, or somebody just working towards something, somebody putting effort and their time in somebody or in something. But with the Five of Wands, I feel like those efforts, they are not seen that much. They're not respected, but it's seen as like, wow, you made a house for me, how cute, bare minimum. I don't know. I don't know if that made sense, but it's like I feel like when somebody does huge efforts for them, and that person is okay, it was like, okay, wow, so cute, how cute that is the bare minimum, then I think that's quite stupid. I think that is quite stupid, because I mean, you should at least, the bare minimum you can do is to be grateful about the efforts that somebody did for you. And I feel like maybe someone here is not being grateful for the efforts that you have made for them in this relationship. Your efforts are generally overlooked. I feel like your efforts, they are generally overlooked by whoever this is. In this situation, your efforts are not reciprocated in that same way. Like it's like suppose you did something nice for someone and the other person just did not match, but you're trying to convince yourself that it's okay, everybody has their own way to love, this and that. But I feel like that might not be the same situation here, because we have the Justice card here, and the Justice card asks for you to get justice, to see whether you're being like, whether if this is justified, whether this is okay, whether if it's actually right, or you're just trying to convince yourself that this is completely fine, this is completely okay. You are just trying to kind of like put down a situation, or put down like a huge problem into something small. You're trying to say like, yeah, something like, well, that's a bit heavy of an example, I cannot say that, but suppose somebody keeps on banging walls whenever they get angry, like, say, yeah, like suppose somebody got very, very angry with you, and they have got so angry that they started to punch walls. That's, if you do not know, that's actually a red flag. That's very, very huge of a red flag, because it's just showing that the person wants to do the same thing to you, right? And I feel like it's like you're trying to make something look smaller than it actually is. It can be a huge situation, it can be a huge problem. I don't know if that made sense. I don't know if this is making sense. It's kind of like that, like your efforts not being reciprocated, not being seen in that way, lack in gratitude, lack in gratefulness, not gratitude, gratefulness from the other person I'm seeing. Like they take things for granted. Whatever you provide for them, they take those things for granted. And it's not seen or respected as it should be, or as much as it should be, But the problem here also, I think it relies on the fact that you are trying to see it as something which is not serious. You're just trying to see like, yeah, it's just them, it's just their behavior. But I don't think that's normal. I don't think that should be supposed to be there, So I feel like if you decide to wait, and if you decide to come back to this person, then yeah, I feel like this person may take whatever they can from you. Okay, let me be very frank, but this person may take some things from you. They may take, if you are somebody that earns money, because we have the money thing here, we have the money card here. If you are somebody that makes efforts, or if you are the only financial, if you are the more financial dependent, not financial independent person, then this person might be able to like take some money. This person might be a gold digger. That's a huge thing to say, though. That's a huge thing to say. Wow. This person might be a little bit of like that. But I don't see genuineness. I don't see somebody being grateful. Like, I don't see that. That's lacking here, What is going to be the outcome for pile number 1 if they decide to stay? Inner conflict. You know what? One thing I'm also getting here is something regarding career. I was getting something regarding career. If you are very, very dependent on this person, like I don't know how to say it, but just get the vibe, because sometimes I have a hard time explaining things. So it's like, suppose you started a relationship and you just got so indulged in that relationship that you cannot take time for your hobbies, you cannot take time for yourself, you cannot take out time for your interest, basically, and you're just so dependent on that person completely and fully. You're always I don't know, like, it's like, this person wants you to not be busy. It's like this person wants you to just and only talk to them, talk about them, be with them. It's giving very clingy feeling. Clingy. It's like somebody is very, very clingy. It might be you or it might be them, but whoever here is clingy, I feel like that is something which is, or it can be a problem. Because I feel like somebody here is very, very dependent on someone. They are very, very dependent for maybe emotional support, or they do not have any sort of I don't know, like, they're very, very dependent on any other person. It cannot only be on money, it can be about money, but if not money, it can even be about emotional dependency or something like that. Like, if you do not have someone, or if you do not have this person, then you get extremely lonely. You do not know what to do, and you're not able to spend time alone with yourself, and you just want someone to be with you. You want somebody to just always be with you. So if that is the situation, if somebody here is clingy, very, very clingy, then I think that can be a problem, or that might be a problem here. Like, not respecting somebody else's space. If somebody in the relationship wants to have their own time, they wants to, like, they are very, like they love their alone time, they love to be alone sometimes, or they cannot be able to function, then I think if the other person is not understanding this, they're like, okay, we are together, why do you want to be alone, why all of this? And if it's not respected, if it's not taken with such, I don't know, like if it's seen as something very, very small, then that might be a problem. Like, this person might be pushing your boundaries even in like a smaller way. Like, person might be pushing your boundaries in smaller ways. Like, this person might not be respecting your personal space, something of that sort. I'm getting something of that sort, like somebody being very, very clingy, very dependent, not respecting somebody's boundaries, and that might not be healthy here. That might not be the best thing here. That might not be the healthy case here. If it is you, that the one that is clingy, if that is you, then I think maybe you need to work on this. Obviously, I think you will have to work on this, because if not, then it just may create more and more problems. Because you might lose yourself in this relationship if you keep on being clingy with this person. if this is you though, if this is the one that is clingy, if you are the one that is clingy, then you might become way too dependent on this person, up to a fact that you may lose uh, some of yourself. Like you may start not caring about your hobbies that much. You may become way too indulged in this person's life, up to a fact that you will have no life of yours, you will have no friends, you will have no place to go to. You like your whole world will be them, and I don't think that sounds healthy. I don't think so it sounds healthy. So if this situation is coming in between your career, if this situation is coming in between yourself, your hobbies, what you love doing, if it's taking away that, then I would recommend that is a problem that needs to be fixed. Because at the beginning I was getting something like that, I was getting something similar to it, but I was not like, how am I supposed to fit that into this? I was not sure where it was going. But now it does make sense. If somebody here is not clear on their boundaries, if you do not know what your boundaries are, and you are okay with people telling you or ordering you things like you should not be doing that, if somebody here is very clingy and the other person is controlling, then that might be a very harsh situation. Somebody here can be manipulative as well, because I'm getting this vibe like somebody here is very very clingy to the point that the other person can even be toxic, even can be manipulative, and the other person will be okay with it because they do not care about their boundaries, they do not care about themselves. I'm looking at this vibe. Okay, like a bird caged in a golden cage, a bird being in a golden cage. That is what it looks like. You like very dependent, very very codependent, very dependent on this person emotionally, or I don't know, financially. It can be any one of those two. So this is not healthy. I don't think this is healthy at all. Okay, so yeah, if I feel like if you decide to wait for this person, then it might not be the healthiest relationship. It might be unhealthy, and I feel like you need to fix some of your issues, because you might be the one that that tends to lose yourself in relationship. You might be the overly clingy type. You might be somebody that maybe lose yourself, or you do not know, if you are not aware of your boundaries as well. If you do not have strong boundaries, and if you are okay with people coming in your boundaries and not respecting them, then I think you need to fix those issues before you can be in a relationship, because this will not turn healthy. This will not be healthy. If you will get into the relationship, I think it will be very toxic. It won't be healthy. No. So I feel like pile number one, I feel like there's a lot of self-improvement that you need to do. This is not even about relationship anymore. I feel like you just need to do a lot of self-improvement before you can be with this person or with anybody else. And I feel like you need to realize that. You know? Because being dependent on somebody up to this extent is not healthy at all. Like, yeah. All right. So I feel like I'm gonna keep this thing to the side here for a moment. Okay, now let's see the second question, okay, which is going to talk about what is going to be the outcome like if you decide to actually move on, if you decide to move on from this person. Okay, let's see what cards I have shuffled for you. So we have the Page of Wands in upright, we have the Three of Pentacles, and we have the World card. Okay, interesting, because the Major Arcana card in both of the readings came at the very end. Okay. I feel like there might be some convincing. Maybe this person will try to convince you to come back. uh, this seems strange. How does it even make sense? Because you are thinking about waiting or moving on, and there's something about convincing. Is it you trying to convince yourself that I shouldn't have moved on? This is quite strange. That is quite strange. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Let me actually get some more cards. Okay, so pile number 2. Okay, so we have a few more cards, and we have family ties here. We have supportive circle and testing limits as well. Both of these cards. I am not sure. I feel like after you are moving on, after you are okay with the fact that yes, I'm moving on now, I do not want this person anymore, I'm fine, I think you will actually be okay. I'm not going to lie. I think you will be okay. You will actually be doing well. I think after you are able to move on, I think you will be doing fine. You will be doing well. But I feel like there are other people around you that will try to guilt trip you. Like they will try to guilt trip you into going back or to being in that same sphere, being in that same situation. I don't know if your environment is triggering this, or if there are people around you that are influencing you to do that. If there are friend groups, people involved here, I don't know what the situation is, because it seems super confusing even for me. But it's like people will try to guilt trip you to go back, or they will be triggering things. There will be like a lot of triggering things here. Like people may try to see that you are the bad person here. Why did you move on? Everything was so great, everything was amazing, things were going fine, and you might not be like, you will be okay till the fact that people will start questioning things, or people will start trying to get too much in your business, up to a point where I think you will actually have to stay away from such people. Now, I don't know if this is family members doing this, because we literally have the card that says family ties. I'm not sure whether family is involved here, but there might be people influencing you. There might be your environment that might be very triggering. There might be very like there might be things at like childhood trauma, something like at play here as well, because if somebody is so dependent on somebody, then it might have to do something with trauma. So you may have to heal that by going to a therapist. But there might be people trying to trigger you. People might try to guilt trip you to go back, to be there. Like, it's like people take way too much power in your life. People like try to decide things for you. People try to decide things for you. Who you are, what you're going to do, who you will be. People don't let you like take initiative. I think people do not let you do things your own way, which is strange. It even sounds like a toxic family. I'm not gonna lie. If your family is toxic like this, then I think you will even have to, up to a point, you will have to stay away from them as well. If it's not a family, it might be friend group, it might be a friend circle, or it might just be you. It might just be you and your inner world, in which they will try to guilt trip you, or your mind will play tricks on you and be like, like, I think I was wrong here. I think I was the wrong person here. I was overthinking way too much about this. I shouldn't have thought too much about this way too deeply. There's this lack in confidence. Now, I don't know if this lack in confidence comes from you, whether it comes from the way your family has, I don't know what do you say it, like, grown you. How your family has, oh my god, this is confusing. But how your family has treated you your whole childhood. Maybe they do not let you take decisions for your life. There is something here with that, where people are way too comfortable with trying to get in your business. Way too comfortable. Where they decide things for you, even if you did not ask. Even if you did not ask for their help. And you were okay with it. You were okay with being alone. You were okay with being or deciding things for yourself. Until somebody comes in and tries to just give you unnecessary advice. I think this thing is coming into me. I'm not sure whether this is making sense, but it might be like that, I feel like after moving on, you will have to, the major thing here that might be blocking you from moving on could be your environment, could be your family, could be your friend circle, could be you, even your lack in self confidence, lack in confidence that you can take good decisions for yourself, because maybe that is how you have always treated as being, maybe you are always treated as like younger, like you are younger, you should listen to the older people always decide the best things for you, and something like that. And it might be tricky, you will not know who to trust, you will not know what to do. And I think you should trust yourself, for sure. You should definitely trust yourself, you should definitely be confident in yourself, because this whole thing is very confusing. I feel like it might be very very confusing to you, because you will not know what to do, who to trust. And at the bottom of the deck we have this card that says keeping secrets, where this person, she is alone and she is like, she is not telling her business to anyone, she is not letting everybody decide things for her, she is just taking care of herself by keeping her secrets safe, keeping things to herself. And I think that is how you should be dealing with the situation. I personally think after, if you decide to move on, I think you'll be fine. It's just that people will be guilt tripping you, and that might be very toxic. I don't know, maybe it's your family background, I don't know what it is, but there might be toxic people around you, something like that. Like there are other people trying to influence you, because we even have the world card here, and I cannot show the card too much because she is not wearing anything, she is not wearing anything, oh my god. But kind of like this, like, yeah, look at her, like she is like surrounded by this circle, and there are like animals around them, like there are so many different people, and she is trying to create like this circle, this boundary around her, that yeah, I will take care of things myself, I do not need help right now, I am fine, I am okay, something like that. Something else that maybe pile number 2 needs to know, whether they should stay or move on. Is there something else that pile number 2 needs to hear, needs to know? I feel like there are a lot of people that try to control you. I don't know why. Now, if this is one person, if this is other people also doing that, I feel like there are a lot of people trying to control you, your life, what you do, and I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like once you start taking things and once you start doing things of according to yourself, and you're happy with it, you start feeling better about things, there are always some random people coming in and trying to affect that. This both of these cards here say I am capable of balancing ease and effort in my life, and this one card says I am capable. So it's like you need to realize that you are capable of taking things okay in your life. You're capable of deciding for yourself, you're capable of doing things yourself, and you can take care of your life. You do not always need people's help. I don't know what this card means. It says, what has been your greatest adventure up to this point? This might be the greatest adventure for you because you will realize that, yeah, like you should be. I feel like this whole thing will definitely ask you to be more confident in yourself and will definitely increase your confidence 100%. I think in both of the piles I read, both of them had this theme in them where they were being told to build confidence, now in one way or the other. It was different, but it was the same. Like the theme is the same. So okay, now let's get some advice. Let's see if you have any advice coming in. I'm thinking about using these cards. Is there any advice coming in for pile number 1? Something that pile number 2 needs to hear. Something that pile number 2 needs to hear. Some advice. Okay, we have 2 cards. So we have this one card, and look at this card very carefully. So there is Pom Pom Purin and Keropi, and they're looking at the same number. They're looking at 9 or 6, but it's like their perspective, their point of view is completely different. Pom Pom Purin thinks he is looking at 9, and Keropi thinks he's looking at number 6. Are they wrong? Absolutely not. Both of them are looking that same situation in a different perspective. So this might be your advice here, and that is, if you have different advice, if you do have different opinions as other people, does it automatically make you wrong, or does it make the other person automatically wrong? No, it just means that you both have lived a different life, you both have made things different decisions, you both are different people. That is it at the end of the day. Maybe you needed to hear this, maybe this is your advice. And one other card we have, and that is this card in which this beautiful sea creature, he looks like he's kind of like inside of a cave, and I feel like this is you. Like you are all like kind of like in this cave where you are afraid that if you try to get out, or if you try to do things your own way, you may not be the good person here. You may not be the good daughter anymore if you try to rebel, if you try to do things your way, if you try to decide things for yourself, if you try to speak up. But I think that is very necessary for you. I think that is very, very important that you do exactly that. Pile number 2, that you speak up. You do things yourself, you take initiative. Basically be a rebel. Does that make any sense? So yeah, I think that was it with your reading. So I read both of the outcomes, and what outcome is going to be like if you decide to wait, in which you saw that the person was not respecting the boundaries. You were always like, you might lose yourself, you might become very dependent on that person. You may have to work on yourself before you get into a relationship. And the other, in which you try to move on, in which people may try to influence you, and that might be a bit challenging because you may have to keep things up to yourself, you may have to do things yourself, you may have to be an adult for yourself and do things the way you please them. And I also gave you some advice on the situation with both of these cards. So I hope this resonated. It was a long reading. I hope it made sense. If some parts did not resonate with you, please leave them, because it's supposed to be a collective reading and I read for a lot of people, right? So I hope that things made sense and I hope it resonated. If you want to share something with me in the comment, then the comment box is open. You can always share whatever you want with me, and I'm going to see you in the next video.